What we'll demonstrate today is how you can integrate Identity Security Insights with PingOne DaVinci. So what is Identity Security Insights? What it does is it enables holistic unified visibility across your fabric of identity and detects identity threats, as well as provides proactive recommendations to improve identity hygiene. This also, in turn, will reduce your attack surface. The tool is designed to ingest identity data from multiple IDPs, including third-party solutions, such as Ping Identity. Identity Security Insights leverages connectors to our BeyondTrust portfolio products to gather data from password, safe, privilege, remote access, privilege management, and remote support. It also connects to various identity providers such as Ping Identity, Azure Active Directory, Global Active Directory. The connectors are the source of data for the tool, and it's very simple and extremely intuitive to set up. It leverages a non-destructive read-only API, and therefore it makes no changes to identity fabric or infrastructure. This way, the solution is easy to implement, safe, secure, and provides rapid results within hours. So once the data is ingested, there's three things that Insights provides. One, it gives you visibility to your identities, your accounts, associated entitlements, and you also get to see what's known as partner privilege, which is identifying, managing, and protecting various direct and indirect routes that attackers can exploit to gain privileged access to an organization. And second, it provides highlights and recommendations for identity hygiene. This helps your teams to enforce least privilege, as well as reduce the attack surface. These are listed here under recommendations, and they are grouped logically. Finally, it correlates identity activity to rapidly highlight where identities are being misused, and that's in our detection section over here. So with all of that in mind, let's look at one more piece, and that is the integrations. BeyondTrust is very rich in its integration because security is not a solution, it is a suite of solutions working in harmony. And so in this demonstration today, going to take a look at Ping DaVinci and how you can leverage that to automate your workflows. This is just one example of many ways that you can integrate the two tools together.
So what we're going to do in this particular demo is we're going to combine the power of PingOne and DaVinci with the power of BeyondTrust Identity Security Insights to do a fully automated TDR process. We're going to respond to an incident like a malicious activity that Insights is going to detect in BeyondTrust, and then we're going to trigger a webhook, which is going to basically initiate a DaVinci flow. So DaVinci is PingOne's orchestration tool that allows us to craft any sort of experience that you'd like to have. So whether it's an authentication experience, an authentication flow for logging into a website, or in this case, we're going to be, again, triggering a webhook that is going to have completely no UI associated with it. So it's going to be a UI-less flow that's going to go through and automate a lot of remediation actions. So in this particular case, we're going to disable this PingOne user. We're going to terminate their session. As you can see here, we're logged into our PingOne application portal and we have a sample application. So once we trigger this webhook, it's going to disable that user we just looked at. It's going to also terminate their PingOne session here, so they'll be logged out of the application portal. In the PRA password vault, we're going to rotate the passwords. You'll see that it's currently it says roughly 10 minutes. Once we trigger this webhook, it's going to rotate that password. So you'll see that change to a few seconds. So we'll have a jump session to a sample server, and it's going to terminate that jump session as well. And it'll be completely automated, seamless, and again, no UI. So this is going to be triggered from that Identity Security Insights malicious activity event, and it's going to trigger that webhook, which will trigger that DaVinci flow. So this is our DaVinci interface. The particular flows that we're going to use in this particular webhook call is this webhook demo flow and this delete user session flow. So this particular flow has no UI associated with it. It's going to be initiated strictly through a webhook, through an API call from Insights to initiate this DaVinci flow that will automate a number of steps that will proactively, terminate sessions, disable accounts, etc. We have a BeyondTrust privileged remote access connector that does have some capabilities, but we wanted to do some additional functionality that we currently don't have in the connector. So we're going to be actually doing that through API calls. So we have the full ability in DaVinci to actually do full API calls. We're going to do an API call to our PRA tenant to get a bearer token. We're going to set that bearer token into a variable. And then when we do the PRA vault password rotation, the PRA needs to have an input of an account ID instead of a username or email address of the user. So we need to have the account ID instead. That's just how the PRA API works, is it does it by the account ID and not by the username. So I'm going to just look into this just so you can see what this API call is going to do. So I have in one of the variables that I set earlier, I have our BeyondTrust URL. So this is the PRA URL for my environment. I have that set here, and then I'm doing a /OAuth2/token, which is the endpoint to get the bearer token for PRA. I'm going to send in a header of authorization with a value of basic, and then our base64 encoded client ID and secret. And again, I have that set as a variable as well. So it's very flexible, very easy to set variables, and then you can use those throughout the rest of your flow. So we're going to do a call to the PRA, one of the PRA API endpoints to get the account ID for that particular user. And then we're going to send that account ID into that API call to schedule that credential rotation. So once we do that credential rotation in the PRA vault, we're then going to initiate this PingOne delete user session subflow. And that particular subflow is going to go through, it's going to look up the PingOne user, get the PingOne user ID, and then step through and terminate their PingOne session, as well as disable their PingOne account. And then once it finishes that subflow, it's going to return to this main flow. So we're going to then initiate that termination of the jump session through that connector. So we wanted to showcase this flow off just to show the flexibility of DaVinci, to show that we can do API calls, we can do native connector capabilities, as well as the ability to initiate subflows from within the flow itself. Okay, so now you can see that we have a jump session initiated to our jump server through PRA. So once I initiate that call, you're going to see this jump session terminate. And then we'll go through and we'll check and we'll show that the PRA password has been rotated in the password vault. We'll also jump over to PingOne and show that the account has been disabled, and then also the user session has been terminated.
Okay, before we trigger that webhook, let's just take a quick look at what this is. So essentially, when you go into integrations and you take a look at the webhook, you can see here that we have configured our PingOne DaVinci webhook, and that has been configured here. It is fairly straightforward. You see it's just simply a name. You create the URL, the authorization type, you got your key in there, and then of course you've got your JSON, and you can see the ID there about third bottom from the bottom up. We've got it to send detections automatically to a critical alert. And then once we're done, we can actually test the settings here at the bottom. And we're going to use that to trigger the webhook to DaVinci.
So I'm initiating the webhook now. Within a few seconds, you'll see that our jump session gets terminated. So there you go. You can see that we've terminated that jump session automatically. I'm now going to jump over to the PRA vault. And again, you can see this password age was 10 minutes ago. So I'm just going to refresh this, and you'll see that it now says a few seconds ago. So we rotated the password. In PingOne, I'm just going to refresh this, and you'll see again that our account has been disabled. Now, this is the user logged into the application portal. So I'm just going to refresh this as well, and you'll see that the user has been logged out.